Hello everyone, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today. These are question and answer videos where I'm answering questions that you guys asked from the last question and answer video. I do this every single Monday. So if you have questions, go down below in the comment section, ask me anything you want. I'll answer them in the next Q&A video next Monday. Okay? Welcome new subscribers. Channel's growing. It's great. Thank you. Welcome. Please ask me questions, you guys. Don't try and do this yourself. Get help, get support, find information, find the truth, okay? Get a good, clear understanding of what's happened. It'll help you with trauma, okay? So let's get started. First question is from Anika. Hope I'm saying that right, and that's a pretty name. From Nebraska. Hello, Anika. I've been on and off again with a narcissist for 3 years and noticing myself changing. I am now snapping at him and saying things I never would. I feel I am the abusive one, even though I'm just defending myself. How can I stop feeling so bad for defending myself? Well, Anika, I'm sorry that you're in this right now, and there is no other way to deal with this except end it, okay? So there's no help for you on how to make this work or make it better or happier with him. The only answer is to leave him, okay? The reason you're feeling so bad for defending yourself, it isn't that you're speaking about your feelings, it's that you're not doing the right thing about it, okay? You already know he doesn't care about how you feel. So as you keep trying and trying and trying, it's kind of like manipulating, you know? It's kind of like changing the person, making him or wanting him to be the way you want him to be. And I think, you know, we have to be realistic and not delusional and not live in that hope that it was, you know, the good part, the good things and the good times in the beginning when it was good and the hormones are high and there was no vulnerabilities, no fears and everything was great. We hold on to that hope. And it's in any time we are living in yesterday or another time, it's delusional. So tell yourself the truth. He doesn't care. Okay? So the correct thing to do is for you. You got to realize that you feeling bad is your responsibility to fix it, not his. Because he shouldn't have the power to control your emotions and feelings. Okay? Understand that he's making you feel bad, so you feel like you have to defend yourself, and then you aren't happy because the outcome is bad, right? Because he doesn't care. There's one thing you can do, and that's not be around him anymore, not listen to him anymore, so you don't have to defend yourself anymore. That's just one thing you can do. Just giving you an option, okay? But it's never going to get better. It's never going to be okay. You're always going to have to defend yourself, and he never will care, okay? He's abusing you, and that means the relationship is over, okay? You continuing it would be nothing more than you trying to manipulate him or you laying down like a doormat and taking all the abuse, okay? I made a video titled When the Victim Becomes the Abuser. And I recommend watching that because you stay with an abuser long enough, you start defending yourself, eventually it's going to turn into abuse, right? You're going to start abusing them. So let him be the abuser and leave, and you stop being the victim, okay? Good luck, Anika. Rocio, hello Rocio. Can you talk about identifying narcissistic shrinks? I think it's really important, especially in the first stages of recovery. Well, I'm not going to sit and try to give you ways to identify narcissist shrinks, but what I'll tell you is give you some signs to look out for that I think should be telling you that the therapist may not be the best for you. So some things that I believe a therapist shouldn't do is talk too much about their own experiences. So what they're doing is when they make your time and your session with them more personal and more personable and about them. You'll notice some people will do that aren't very healthy. They've got stuff to work on, and so they want to keep talking about their stuff when they need to talk about your stuff. That's something that I don't think is appropriate. Another obvious one, but everyone needs to hear this, is we don't make friends or date clients, doctors, stuff like that. Patient-doctor relationship needs to stay professional. So we don't do anything outside. We don't go meet up for dinner and lunch, stuff like that. We don't go out on dates. We don't become friends. When you hear someone say, oh, I really like you, I think we're going to be good friends, or maybe we can date after you're all better and done and healthy and stuff like this, okay? Other things would be dressing inappropriately. That's a huge red flag for therapists and other professionals when a client comes in and is dressed unprofessionally, provocatively, things like this, just not professional, not clean. Big indicator, okay? I think those are big enough. Those are pretty huge. Try to realize that we don't need to see if our client or if our therapist is a narcissist. We just need to make sure we get the best help. So as long as they have some knowledge in the area of the help that you need help in, and as long as you are getting better and feeling better. You know, I tell you guys a lot to always ask how you feel. Okay, so think about how you feel when you're with that therapist, and you might get some mixed emotions. You're talking about stuff that stresses you out and that's traumatic and stuff like this. That might be what it is. But what you should do is be honest and open. You got to give your therapist a fair chance to help you. And if you don't disclose things and you hide things from them, then they can't help you appropriately. Okay, I know it's tough, guys. But I think when it comes to something like that, we kind of get a basic feeling, a basic reading, and go from there. And I think, you know, they really should do something before you accuse them, and try to work with them. And if you have problems and you have feelings that you're unsure about them and stuff like that, tell them, okay? A healthy professional can accept that. My clients can tell me anything, and I don't get upset and I don't get weird, and it's just, okay, I understand. What can we do about it? Because you need to trust them. There needs to be some trust there, and if you don't trust them, then maybe you need to move on to the next one. But I hope that helps. Okay, thank you, Rocio. Jay Strata from P-Town, Oregon. Hello. I've recently been studying cluster A and cluster C disorders. Are those also high on the narcissistic spectrum? Well, I do tell you guys that there's 10 personality disorders. They're divided up into 3 clusters, A, B, and C. The narcissistic personality disorder is in cluster B, along with 3 others. And I say this a lot, that the personality disorders in the cluster B are somewhat on the narcissistic spectrum. I believe that somewhere on there. As far as cluster A and cluster C, they're not really considered to be, but that doesn't exclude them whatsoever. Try to realize that people with personality disorders, okay, they have a disadvantage, and it's hard for them to get through life. It's more difficult than you and I. They have more problems. It's harder. Okay, their life becomes less manageable. Some of them, have a real victim mentality, victim identity. I believe that a lot of people with that kind of mentality and identity are somewhere on the narcissistic spectrum. I think that people that are unhealthy have a very big chance of being on that narcissistic spectrum. Not narcissist, just narcissistic. So, I think, how about this? I think people with personality disorders have a higher, greater chance of having narcissistic traits than people that do not have personality disorders, period. But even more so in the cluster B. That's my opinion. Hope that helps. Thank you. Gerard in Ireland. Hello, Gerard. When a narcissistic mother has a child with someone, how does that mother treat and raise that child with the father? What is she like when the father is present to when he is gone? Well, Gerard, that would be situational. That would be, on the person, on the mother. I wouldn't say that a personality disorder determines exactly how a mother acts with their child around people. I mean, you hear about terms like covert and overt narcissists. They behave a little differently, so maybe a covert narcissistic mother will always be great and everything's great and I'm a good mother, but behind closed doors abuses the child and does that even with the father. Typically, abusers, like narcissistic mothers that are married and have children, they'll typically be more abusive at home and less out in public. So they'll typically take the child and say, look, I'm a great mother. I meet all their physical needs. They get the best food. They always take them to the best doctors, the best dentists. They go to the best school, private school, right? Because it's an extension of themselves. They get the best because I get the best. They're me. They're mine. And then at home, they abuse the hell out of them. And typically, that isn't hidden too much from the father. You have to understand a man that is married and has a family with a narcissistic mother isn't healthy either. He lets her abuse him. Most likely going to let her abuse the children. He may not even realize what she's doing and how harmful and damaging it is, too. Hope that makes sense. It depends on the person, right? The overt is going to be abusive in front and behind people, right? Hope that makes sense. Gracie. I wish I knew where you were. Oh, and I didn't say that. By the way, guys, when you ask a question, please leave us your location. Tell us where you are. Be general. Doesn't matter. We all want to know where you guys are at. Helps us all feel a little connected. Let people out there know that you're not alone. So please tell us where you're located. Thank you. So Gracie asks, when I told my ex-narcissist to see a counselor or seek some treatment, get some help, he blamed me, started a fight, didn't talk to me for months, and then was flirting with his other options, and then married quickly. I shorten this up a lot. This is typical, Gracie. These people are shame-based, so you're asking them to get help, seek a counselor. They know there's something not right with them. They know. They don't want to go seek help, especially with you telling them to. Now there's something wrong with them. You got to understand what the amount of shame that they have, what that's like. That's why they can't apologize. They can't even say, I'm sorry. This is self-esteem problems, guys. So imagine you're walking down the street and you kind of trip and fall or something. It's embarrassing, right? But you're going to get red and embarrassed and, oh, God, They're going to say, why'd you make me do that? Why'd you look at me? You're staring at me and you threw something in front of me. I didn't fall on my own. I never fall. And, they can't even handle falling in front of somebody. Their self-esteem is so low. Their shame is so bad and high. Oh, look, they're stupid. Oh, look, they can't walk right. They're dumb. They're ugly. That's how they think, guys. They're children, okay? So, it's all the blame game. Can't take any responsibility. Can't take any accountability. And I feel bad, and I'm out of control. You're the one in control. If I feel bad, your fault. You did it. Because I can never look at myself. Never stop for a second and look at myself. So you guys think that they can change and get better? It takes a lot. Takes a lot. Okay? Yeah, I know that was kind of just a comment. And thank you. But that's so typical. It's such a typical pattern. These are children that can't take responsibility and accountability for anything. Shannon from Western United States. Hello, Shannon. Are narcissists ever happy? Do they know what happiness is? And happy Thanksgiving. It's been 1 year, no contact, and it feels great. Good job, Shannon. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing that. Give people some hope. 1 year, no contact, guys, and she feels great. And I don't think I've heard anybody say something different after not talking to their abuser at all for a year. They feel great. Hope. That's the kind of hope you guys should be thinking about. You're 3 months into this, 6 months into this, 9 months into this. There's hope. You guys get better. I promise. And also, Obaid asks, are narcissists really happy? Then what motivates them to keep going and abusing, lying, manipulating, cheating? So both of you guys are asking, and a ton of people ask, are they happy? Can they really be happy? Do they know what happiness is? They can believe they're happy. They can have moments of happiness. I think they somewhat know what happiness is. A lot of you guys, a lot of clients that come to me tell me, oh, I was so happy before this narcissistic relationship I got in. I was happy before that. And then after diving into their past and stuff, we realized they weren't really happy. And a lot of us don't even know what complete 100% happiness is until we are totally healthy and meeting our needs and loving ourselves. And then we realize what happiness really is. So I don't think people with personality disorders know that. I don't think they can achieve that. I think feeling good and being in a state of happiness is different, right? And being happy isn't easy. We aren't born happy. Evolution doesn't care about happiness. Our brains don't care about being happy. It cares about surviving and procreating. It's up to us to be happy. So a narcissist can put on that smile, right? But they also think they're God's gift to the rest of the world. They know they're not. They lie. So they lie with this. If I smile, I'm happy. As long as everybody thinks I am. As long as everybody thinks I'm a good person. As long as everybody doesn't know how bad I am, then I am happy. That's just delusional. They try and believe their own lies, right? What do they have to base it against? I can only know I'm happy because I've been unhappy. Right? They can only know they're unhappy because they've been because they've been happy. I don't think they even know they're unhappy. Yet happy. I don't think they can be happy. Okay? People that are happy don't abuse other people. People that are smear campaigning me can't possibly be happy. That's not how people act that are happy. Abusive, aggressive, disgusting, negative, damaging. Those aren't happy people. Those are hurt people. Hurt people hurt other people. The people that have hurt you do it because they've been hurt and they don't know how to deal with it. Okay? Hope that helps. Helen from New Jersey. Hello, Ellen. My ex freaked out on me 8 months ago. He got worried I wasn't giving him as much attention or seemed as into him as I was in the beginning. Is it common for borderlines and narcissists to never want to get out of the honeymoon stage? Yes. There's nothing else, is there? That's why they leave. That honeymoon stage you're talking about is your hormones going up. When we meet somebody we like, we have a few different hormones that increase. Actually, there's a whole great, amazing cocktail to it. You even get some stress chemicals in there too. That's why you get the sweaty palms when you're nervous. Can't talk to the person you really like. You're nervous. You got stress chemicals, but man, that concoction gets you to come back and come back and come back to that person. Idealize them. We all idealize a little bit. You know, how great that person was. You have no idea this person I just met, they're amazing. You know them 2 weeks, and they're just, you know, the greatest thing since sliced bread. 6 months later, it changes. That's why I say, if you don't establish some kind of foundation in a relationship, meaning if you don't establish some security and some safety and make each other feel needed and wanted and loved and nurtured, these kinds of things, if you don't do that, by the time your hormones go down, there's problems, isn't there? You can't have your needs met in an abusive relationship. You can't have your needs met with people that have personality disorders. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to meet their own needs. They don't know how to meet your needs. Okay? So the relationship can't work, period. So these guys especially borderlines and narcissists, they're all about the hormones, baby, right? It's, you know, love is their drug of choice. So the honeymoon stage, then it drops. Somebody that has an absolute paranoia about abandonment, just even when it gets high, what do they say? Just don't leave me. Because they get so excited. Oh my God, this is such a good thing. I better not lose it. And then once those things go down, ooh, man, you are going to leave them. The amount of shame they have tells them, why would anyone stay? The experiences they've had in their life tells them, no one's going to stay. So, absolutely, they live by this. It's not just normal or common. This is how they live. This is why they're doing what they're doing. This is why I tell everybody the relationship's going to, you know, it usually lasts about 6 months to a year and a half. And I always say that they usually tend to hoover. They tend to come back and contact you about 6 months or so. Because we know they go right to somebody else. The hormones drop in about 6 months. That's when it happens to people. And they're like, oh, this is boring. I'm not into them anymore. Or, oh, they're going to leave me. They don't like me anymore. And then they go back to you, remembering that you make them feel good sometimes. Let's go back. That'll be fun. Let's rekindle. Sometimes that lasts a 5-minute phone call. They're just already boom on you again. Because this goes up and it drops right down right away again. You don't get the 6 months. Woo, woo, woo. You get the, 6 minutes before that stuff starts going down again. That's why in an abusive relationship, you can take your time apart for a year and a half and bring it back together, and it's woo, woo, woo. Next day, right back where it was. So yeah, it's common. Hope that helps. And thank you. And I'm going to end part 1 right here. Okay, guys? So if you can do me a favor, please. I ask this all the time. I put a lot of work into these videos. What I'm trying to do is get the information into the public, general public, that for people that don't know what this is. Imagine you found this information out 4 years ago. 5 years ago, 10 years ago. If I would have found this information out a long time ago, I would have saved 10 years of my life. So, and that's the other thing. Save some lives, okay? People commit suicide with CPTSD. People commit suicide because people hurt them so bad. They're left alone. They don't have any answers. They don't know what's going on, okay? So, please push a few buttons. Share this. Put it in a playlist of your own. Give it to somebody. Social media accounts. Facebook, Tinder. Or not Tinder. That's a dating site, isn't it? Facebook. All the other social media accounts. Thank you, guys. Okay, I'll see you in part 2 in a few minutes. Bye-bye.